Hello, welcome back. So we didn't finish scraping. We were scraping and strip tilling around my parents' house and got mostly done. Then we got some rain. Thankful for the rain. Got about an inch that hit around the house, and then a couple places east got about a half inch. I got 2 inches over near my grandma's house around the barn. I want to top dress some of the wheat, most of it really. There's one farm that's west that hasn't really gotten much rain. It's just behind on the rain, and so I don't know if it makes sense there. There's another chance of rain. Today's Tuesday, coming Wednesday night and Thursday, I believe. So it could be a good chance to get some fertilizer down on some of that wheat, since we have gotten some good rains and seem to kind of be continually getting some chances for rain. I am taking this tractor with the scraper back to the barn. Even though we're going to need the scraper still over here later, I do need the sprayer on now. So I'll take this over, get the sprayer hooked up. I have to now also change nozzles. I spent the morning tracking down, making sure I had all the right nozzles and nozzle bodies. We're going to use streaming nozzles here instead of broadcast fan nozzles. So these will put out 3 streams like this, and the spacing, needing to break them up into 40 inches makes it where those streams line up better at the right height of our boom. So I've got to hook the sprayer, change out the nozzles that I need, check the strainers, hopefully they're not clogged, get back over to mom and dad's house. I've got the trailer with fertilizer ready to go there and spray. That's probably all I'll get done this afternoon, and then in the morning I'll get another load of fertilizer and keep going. Okay, hooked up, got it here ready to check on the nozzle. So here's what's going to happen. I'll start here at the very center. This nozzle will be changed out to the streaming nozzle, and then from there out, every other one will be. This one will be capped. Nothing will come out of this, and then this one will be the streaming nozzle, and so on, all the way down the line and both sides. So here's what these other nozzles look like. These are put out a fan spray, and they cover everything gets sprayed. I'm going to change them out with these nozzles here. If you can see, 3 holes, and so they'll spray in 3 streams down like that. And so if you can imagine, if I get the boom height at the right height, which would be about 40, because I'm going to be 40 inches apart. I set the nozzle literature says if you're 40 inches apart, then you should be 40 inches high, the boom off the ground, and that'll put those streams equidistant all the way across. So that'll be what I'll try to play with, make sure that I get even coverage throughout the boom. So I've got 29 of these nozzles to replace, and then 30 caps to do. And I'm hoping that the strainers inside are clean. I don't have to clean those all out. All right, moment of truth. Let's see what everything looks like inside of here. That is pretty clean. I'm gonna go check one at the end of a section. One at the end of a section tends to get a little bit dirtier. We'll see. That is a win. Yeah, remember I got one here and one right here. I'll need a wrench to do this one, but I don't have my phone holder to do this, so I'll be right back. All right, let's see what we got. Not too bad. I'll go ahead and rinse these out, and I think we'll be good to go. That job is done. Man, I can't tell you how thankful I am I didn't have to change out those strainers. It's not hard, it's just tedious doing it that many times. All right, well, got everything going. Not much to say other than it's working. I think you can see, if I can get you where the sun, you see the streams, And I've tried to get the height right so that I'm not overlapping, nor am I too far apart with the stream, so I think I'm in a good spot. I've sprayed over half of this tank out, and so I'll get this done. I'll take the trailer home so that I can go get another load of fertilizer first thing in the morning and get this field done, and then move on to another field over there. I'll need at least another full load to finish over there. And so I'm trying to think. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 loads might get it. Try that again. 4 loads might get all of this fertilizer that I want to get done. If we get some rain, which I hope we do on Thursday, then I won't be able to fertilize yet everything over near the barn, but we'll see. We'll take the rain. So one of my goals was to try to get some of these cotton stalks shredded in our wheat, especially where I wanted to possibly catch the seed, so we didn't have those sticks in the seed, because that can clog up the grain drill. Well, we got some rains, some timely rains, and this wheat's really taken off, and so we thought probably not worth it now, because now the shredder would chop off the top of the wheat, and the wheat's just too far along, and that would do some damage. So I don't think we're probably going to be able to get to do any shredding. The wheat's just really taken off with the rain and the warmer weather we've gotten. So it's fine. It will be fine. We may get a little bit of a dock at the elevator for some trash, maybe. The combine normally does a pretty good job of kicking a lot of that out. We'll just know that if we catch seed from somewhere like this, I got that one field that has no cotton stalks on it, and it's the earliest wheat. That's probably where we'll try to catch it if we can. But if we can't, then we'll just know that when we put it in the grain drill, we'll just have to get out and check often and make sure that none of those sticks get in that seed cup, because that can clog it up, or get in that seed tube. I've had that happens pretty regular, and you just got to make sure that doesn't clog you up, so you don't have skips when you're in your wheat. You won't know it until the wheat starts coming up, and then you'll see a bunch of bare spots in the field. So don't want that, but consequences for every action. Didn't get the stalks cut, deal with it, and address the problems that come in the future. Back to spraying today with the clouds up right now. You can see these streams a lot better if I can hold the camera still. Get this field done, about 50 acres left, and go spray the rest of this tank on another field. Just keep trying to get it all done today. So I had a weird thing happen just now. Coming out to the field, picking up where I left off, the screen, let me show you. It paints the blue to show you where you've gone. When you're plowing or something, pretty obvious to see where you finished and ready to start spraying. Not as obvious, especially on the last through where I ran out before I got to the end, and I came to the field and there was no blue, so it just went away. I've restarted unplugged, restarted, like the simple fixes, and nothing shows up on the guidance tab. Go to mapping, I can't see it under coverage, but if I go to rate or product application coverage, it shows, but only on mapping, not on guidance. So I was able to use that to figure out where I needed to finish spraying, but I can't see anything that I did yesterday. Really strange. Not a huge deal. The biggest concern is I get to the ends. That's when I know when to turn the boom off. Is when I get to the other blue, so I don't overspray a ton. Hold on, got some rough stuff here. Well, I don't have that, and so I know kind of where it needs to be, so it's not a total guess. Sorry, a little bit of a wash there. It's not a total guess, but it's not, I don't really know. I know when I get to the tracks on the end with my tracks, then that's time to shut off going when I get to it. But when I'm starting, I don't have as good of a landmark to know when to turn the boom back on. So I'm just going off the previous pass on the screen and turning it on. So adventures of technology today so far. Hopefully that's an isolated incident. My lunch is here. Emily brought it in the work truck. And she sent kind of a weird lunch. Let's see what she brought me. A peach flavored sparkling water. Good. Not weird. Something hot dog-ish looking in foil. 2 of those. Paper towel. With the inside being an apple, excuse me. Some nuts and some Oreo thins. I would say not super weird, super helpful. Thanks, Sam. Love you. Okay, quick update on my food because I know you care about my food. She made these little, it's hot dog bun, but it's just sausage and cheese. The sausage, however, is, okay, back up. We did a deal with her work, Christmas party, how to make charcuterie boards. There was a cheese there called Unexpected Cheddar from Trader Joe's. It's really good. So we don't live near Trader Joe's, but when we drive by one, we try to stop and get some. Excuse me while I adjust my boom. Well, we heard that they have a Unexpected Cheddar sausage. So we got some, and that's what that is. And it is really, really good also. Unexpected Cheddar. The cheese is awesome. The sausage, just found out, also awesome. Check it out. Well, I found some mud. Not really what I was hoping for, but this waterway, we got 3 inches here and another inch after that, and just a tremendous amount of water always has run down here. And I was doing the perimeter, the back end there, and tons of silt. It's the bottom of the hill, got deposited where I was driving, and that stuff was real black and wet still. So I'm just gonna have to go until it starts to get a little wet. I don't know if you can see over there, a bunch of water was running there, and all that stuff you see is trash and stuff deposited on the cotton stalks. But up here in a second, I'm gonna have to stop, turn around, and just look for drier ground. There's a little bit better look at all that water that ran through here. Not too bad. It really wasn't that bad. Wouldn't have gotten stuck probably, but it's just really, really soft, so it sunk down pretty deep in that stuff. Now, also, we're filling off the road because here's now the limitation of my 2-wheel drive pickup with 1,000 gallons of fertilizer. Dad couldn't get up and over. Too heavy and no traction there. So that'd be why I'd probably need to get a 4-wheel drive pickup, but we'll do a quick little half ditch, half road fill up, and then we'll be back to it. All right, so I'm on the last little section of this place by my parents' house, and that'll finish everything that I for sure wanted to get done. We got an inch more rain over by the barn. I'd like to get, there's one of the patches we sowed really early. I would like to get it fertilized before a possible rain, but I'm afraid because I'm running into some mud here on an inch rain. That over there's had 5 inches, then 2 inches. So I'm afraid that it's going to be still pretty wet, especially in the low spots there. But what I wanted to show you is this. We call this the blank. It's between 2 rows of cotton, these 2 blanks. And the wheat looks really good and strong right there. But right in the middle of the tractor is the track, and you can see those, they're just not near as thick. That's where we drove the stripper and the tractors to plant and cultivate all year. And so the biggest culprit though is we stripped this cotton while it was still, the ground was pretty wet, but we had to get it out. We had too many rain delays. And so now you see the effects of that. Look across the field. The wheat and the blanks, it's pretty good. The wheat in the tracks, it got packed, and the grain drill couldn't go in the ground, so that wheat seed probably set on the surface. The cranes may have got it, the seed could have ruined, or the ground was just too hard, even when it did rain, that it couldn't get into the soil and germinate. But well, I'm out at, I finished everything east. I'm about to go to church tonight, but before I went, I wanted to take a look at these other places and see if they were going to be ready to go for spraying possibly in the morning, but still black, and this isn't necessarily a low spot down over there. So this county road is a river, and it breaks into our field a couple places right there, and then washed across that county road over there, and it's standing water in a lot of places down over that way. So that's what 5 inches really fast will do, and then another 2 inches super fast will do. We've got a lot of water, and so this is black. You can see that or not, but yeah, I was a little afraid of that because of Dad's house, which just had 3 inches and 1 inch, also fast, was wet in some spots, that this would probably not be ready to go. I would like to fertilize it, but if we don't get some rain, tomorrow is our chance. If we don't get some rain, then maybe by the weekend, maybe this might be ready to go, but I don't know. I'm about to go to this next field down here, and it was planted earliest of all this later stuff, and I'm afraid it's going to be just the same. Yeah, here's the example of the road. There really is no ditch. Silted in ditch there, silted in ditch there. The road is just the same level as the ditch. It used to not always be that way, but hopefully we got a new commissioner that we can try to get this road better. But it's silty itself, and so you can't go down here at all. If it's wet, you will for sure get stuck. But those ditches growing up used to be super deep, and now they've just been filled in, and the road just runs like a river and then breaks into our field. Here's you another example. I mean, almost no difference from our field to the ditch, and yeah, running. All right, let's take a look at this field. It's high right here, so it's dry, but I'm wondering and thinking if we get into any kind of low spot that it'll be black. Wheat looks good, needs fertilizer. I think I got a little bit of time. It's not as big as, it's like some of the biggest I sprayed over there. I think I'll be okay if I can get to it before, but if it rains again, this may be the way it stays. No, I won't get the top dress of this. Okay, I drove around to the other side of this field because it looked pretty dry where I could see over there, and it looks pretty dry on this other end. There's some spots that normally kind of stand some water and stay black, but I'm not seeing it, which is crazy because the field I showed you just a second ago was like not even a half a mile further east and across the county road, and it was black, and some places really black. So I don't know, like I'm looking in here, I would expect to see this ground maybe black, wet, but it is not. You know, this ground was our the first field we stripped. We thought it was pretty stressed, and because it had not gotten the least amount of rain as the rest of our field, so we thought it wouldn't be as good. It ended up being a bale of the land. It was really good. So we thought it was a drought stress. It was just not. It was really good. But so maybe it did have some water deficiencies, and it's just soaking it up better. I don't know. Last night you saw me. I was in the field, and it was dry. It was weird. I was convinced though that field was dry, and I was going to get it fertilized this morning, and so had that decision made. Went to church. On my way back from church, I was going to swing by and pick up the trailer so I could get a load first thing, and get that sprayed because I had something to go to closer to lunch. So when I was leaving church, I didn't feel clarity. I think it doesn't make sense that these 3 farms that are all within probably a half-mile radius of each other, that 2 of them are standing water and have really bad black spots, and the one just right next door is completely dry. So I went out and I walked a little bit further around the barn and saw that it was really black on the side of the terrace, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's going to be black in the terraces throughout that field because it does that, and I know it's standing water in some spots, And then the other field, I know that there was black shiny spots. I saw it. I walked out and I showed you the black. So like, it's got to be black in this other field too. So I went to a different spot, closer to where another spot where I know it gets black and holds water. And I walked out there, and sure enough, it was still pretty wet. So I had clarity. I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to rut it up and make a mess. So decided not to fertilize. We got a chance of rain this evening. Hopefully that comes, but if it doesn't, then that'll give that ground a little more chance to dry out, and I can try to get it all fertilized before the next chance of rain a week from now. So that was the kind of the back and forth. I was convinced one way, and then in the middle, I got totally switched back the other way, but thankful for the clarity on that decision. So, okay, so now what am I doing today? Well, I went out of town for, this is a birthday gift from Emily, a bucket list item that I've always wanted to do. So I'm going to show you what's in store for me today. All right, here's where I'm at. Rangers Ballpark, opening day, bucket list for me. I think my seats are gonna be somewhere over there. Well, stadium over there, Loblaws, AT&T over there. Got a Cowboys. Had a Rangers win. We're 5-0, down 5-0. Bold strategy with your new starting pitcher, DeGrom. Came back, won 11-7. Made it interesting, but fun time. Now I'm on my way to the shuttle and getting home.